Right, well, I'm not gonna get into my personal opinion on why I like Half-Life 1 better just yet, but I do want to show off a glitch with Half-Life 2's AI that I think is absolutely hilarious.
Disruptor in our midst. One who has acquired an almost messianic reputation in the minds of certain citizens. His figure is synonymous with the darkest urges of instinct, ignorance, and decay. Some of the worst excesses of the Black Mesa incident have been laid directly at his feet.
Wasn't my fault.
And yet unsophisticated minds continue to imbue him with romantic power, giving him such dangerous poetic labels as the one free man, the opener of the way. Let me remind all citizens of the dangers of magical thinking. We have scarcely begun to climb from the dark pit of our species' evolution. Let us not slide backward into oblivion, just as we have finally begun to see the light. If you see this so-called free man, report him. Civic deeds do not go unrewarded, and contrariwise, complicity with his cause will not go unpunished. Be wise. Be safe. Be aware.
Well, actually, after that little tirade from Dr. Breen, I think now might be a good time to talk about it. Like, personally, the Orwellian atmosphere and just everything in Half-Life 2, it's beautifully done. Personally, I like this survival horror aspect that Half-Life the first has more, but I think one of the major things, one of the major changes that I don't really like that much is the way that Gordon Freeman as a character is presented in Half-Life 2. Like, in Half-Life 1, you start the game, it pretty much tells you your name's Gordon Freeman, you're a scientist working at Black Mesa, and that's kind of it. Like, the incident occurs, and so the scientists and stuff tell you what to do. Your goal is just to stay alive. So, you can really sort of oh shit, I meant to select the crowbar. Let me just... You can really project your own thoughts and stuff onto Gordon Freeman a lot easier. I mean, in Half-Life 2, you've still got a silent protagonist, so you can project your thoughts and stuff onto him. But a lot of the NPCs, like the citizens, other members of the Resistance, treat you as like this hero character running around being selfless and an attempt to save the world. In Half-Life 1, while you've still got scientists telling you what to do, and they're still assuming you're doing it to be a hero, they're assuming it, whereas in Half-Life 2, the NPCs kind of force that role upon you. In Half-Life 1, you can be a complete dick. You can have Gordon just running around trying to get out alive, not worrying about anyone else. You can shoot all the scientists and security guards you see, so long as you don't need them. But once they're done helping you, you can kill them as well. If you want, you can pretend Gordon Freeman is a spy from Aperture Science, of all things. But I mean, it's more open like that. The game doesn't really force you, doesn't really try pushing any sort of character onto you, whereas in Half-Life 2, you can still pretend Gordon Freeman's an absolute dickweed if you want to, but the game doesn't really allow for you to play it the same way. I find Half-Life 1 more immersive because of that, even if it looks so much worse. And to that extent, I find Black Mesa more immersive as well. That's just my thought. Like, saying that, don't get me wrong, Half-Life 2 is still an amazing game. There's some parts about it that I don't really like that much, but it's still an amazing game. Anyways, having said all that, like I said, here's a funny well, absolutely hilarious and kind of sad glitch with the AI. You can see that guy over there on the mounted gun, right? Well, the way that an NPC's line of sight is calculated in Source Engine, or Half-Life 2 at least, is based on your line of sight to them, meaning you can do shit like this. I was so distracted by all that I forgot to mention. Frag Grenade works similarly to the one from Half-Life 1, except the physics are way better, and the other thing is you can't cook it. Like in Half-Life 1, you held the button, and after a while you could release it and it would go off in X amount less time. In Half-Life 2, you can't do that. It always goes off after a set amount of time after you throw it. Your mileage may vary, but personally, I find that makes it much less useful. One of the other, actually, speaking of the immersion thing I was talking about, one of the other reasons, one of the parts of it that I think comes into play is the fact there's no friendly fire in Half-Life 2. Like, their story important characters, like Alex and Kleiner and Eli and Barney and everyone, or all of them who get names, and it makes sense that you can't kill them, because then the story wouldn't really be able to advance. But, like, the regular citizen NPCs, you can't kill them. And I mean, I suppose, to an extent, in some case, once again, that would mean the story can't go forward, because they've learned that you're not exactly the hero that they're looking for, after all. But at other times, mainly in some of the later chapters of the game, it just gets so irritating. It's not for a while yet, but to explain, there's parts later on where you've got citizens following you around with weapons while you're fighting a bunch of Combine soldiers and Metro Police and that kind of thing. And, oh shit. They're following you around. The thing is, they'll follow you into, like, narrow buildings and stuff, and you collide with them. They'll get out of the way, but, sometimes their AI is a bit less than spectacular at that. So they'll sort of block hallways and stuff. And if you walk into a hallway, see there's a Combine soldier there, and try to run back to cover or something, they won't always get out of the way. It can actually get you killed. And, I mean, there aren't many instances where it can get you killed like that, but I find that really irritating nonetheless. Am I gonna be good with this? I think there is a supply crate, so we'll be good. That is the first time I've had the door get in the way like that. That's a new one on me. So what was it? The magic of a physics engine causes different things every time. Let's just keep driving. Oh god, they're shooting rockets at me. Ow. speaking of the AI, I'm not sure if it's just, like, if it's just me, it's my experiences with Half-Life and Half-Life 2, or if it actually is this way, but it feels to me like the AI in Half-Life 2 isn't quite as dynamic as it was in Half-Life 1. I'm not sure whether that's the AI itself, whether it's the level design, whether it's the way things are set up, I don't know. But like, in Half-Life 1, with some of the soldier fights, or even some of the alien fights, almost every single one of them would go differently. Like, I'd usually not really have the same experience twice, except in some parts, like the Horde of Vortigaunts near the beginning of Office Complex, for instance. Whereas in Half-Life 2, all the battles I have with the NPCs seem to really just progress in sort of the same manner. And like, in Black Mesa, it's still kind of there to a smaller extent, but it's way... Things usually get way more interesting in Black Mesa than they do in Half-Life 2, for me. And the keyword here is usually. I've had some instances where the AI would do something I wasn't expecting it to do, but a lot of the time it's just... I just sort of progress through the game and the same thing happens and stuff. I could just... Jerks! Closing it right when I get here. One minor thing that bugs me, you can't get out of... And I don't know if it's just the boat, or if it's because I was driving so close to the wall, but like... Let's just see, actually. Yeah, you can't get out of the boat when your momentum's a certain amount. And I mean, I get... To an extent, I get why they'd put that in there, but... I want to be cool jumping out of boats and shit. Or cars, as it was later on. Magnum! Works pretty much the same as it did in Half-Life 1, except the amount of ammo you can hold for it is absolutely... It's pitiful. You can only hold 18 rounds. I think that's actually one of my other main gripes about Half-Life 2. In Half-Life 1, you could carry a lot of ammo, and to some extent it was too much, but in Half-Life 2, the weapons that are actually useful in the later parts of the game, you can hardly carry any ammo for them. Oh shit. Like, uh-oh. The Magnum's a good example. 18 rounds? I mean, okay, the like... God, how many could you carry in Half-Life? I think, like, 42? Okay, to an extent, yeah, sure. At some points that can be a bit excessive, but here, it's just... Why? Why is it so low? The shotgun which you get later is also really, really good, without being overpowered. But once again, you can carry hardly any ammo for it. And then we get another automatic weapon later on that is probably... I find it to be much, much more useful than the SMG. But you cannot... You can hardly carry any ammo for it at all. Like, okay. Oh, shit. Once again, you'll notice it's using the, Magnum sounds from Black Mesa. Don't ask me to redistribute that. You can do it yourself. It's just a simple copy-paste and then renaming the files. Oh, come on! But yeah, like, in comparison to Half-Life and Half-Life 2, you can carry, like, hardly any rounds for the, SMG in Black Mesa, right? You can carry less than Actually, you can carry exactly half of the total ammo that you could for the SMG in Black Mesa as you can for the other automatic weapon in this game. And just... why? Oh shit. If you want players to not be dependent on it, that's one thing, but you can carry so little ammo for some of the weapons that they just become absolutely useless. And that's my feelings, at least. You might disagree, and I'm not saying my opinion is the be-all end-all, but that's how I feel. Haha. You're even more persistent than the helicopter in Half-Life. It's saying a lot. That bastard never got off my back. In fact, let me think. The shotgun in Half-Life 2 compared to the shotgun in Half-Life, you can carry less than a quarter of the amount of ammo as you could in Half-Life, the first. And considering that it's probably one of the most effective weapons in the game, like, it's not overpowered, but it's really useful, that's... no. I've gone out of my way before to write, oh god, to write a script that changes the max amount of ammo you can carry and some other things for Half-Life 2. I chose not to play with it because so we can keep the real experience, but I just... I don't know. In my opinion, the most overpowered weapon in Half-Life 2 would probably be the Magnum, because the fucking Magnum. Whoa! To an extent, I do think that because of the low amount of ammo you can carry, it gets useless though, because it's been a while so I can't really remember that well, but I'm pretty sure ammo for it's relatively scarce. I mean, you can say all that you like about video game balancing, but at the same time, the fact that like, the SMG becomes redundant later on because of how little damage it does, how inaccurate it is, and yet the weapons that are actually, like, solidly reliable, you can hardly carry any ammo for them. Whoa! What the fuck is going on? Yay! I mean, like, personally, my opinion is Half-Life, the first, definitely did have overpowered weapons. The gluon gun was a fucking monster. And to an extent, so was the Tau cannon. and the Magnum once again. But and like the amount of ammo you could hold for the shotgun, for instance, or the amount of SMG grenades you could hold, stuff like that. It was high. But the thing was, in Half-Life 1, the weapons were balanced a lot better. In Half-Life 2, single player, like I said, the SMG just becomes useless later on. And I mean, ammo for it is, there's plenty of ammo scattered around for it, sure, but it just does not feel effective at all. Meanwhile, the weapons that do feel effective, that I feel like I can rely on, carry like fucking 2 rounds in reserve or what have you. And fuck you, because physics went apeshit. Whoa. Speaking of physics. And I mean, to an extent, the thing about Half-Life was that while your weapons were all good, they didn't always feel reliable. And I mean, that was one thing, because that enhanced the mood. In Half-Life 2, I personally find it just gets irritating. Also, I'd really like it if they'd stop shooting rockets at me, because that's very rude of them. It's not for, I think another 2 or 3 chapters yet, but, get the shotgun, and you'll see what I mean when you see how much ammo it can hold. Okay, let's get this somewhere over where I can get to it easier, because there's a physics puzzle here, because everyone loves those. I actually do, they're fun. Need to get this ramp up so that we can use it to jump over the gate. Let me see. That'll just give us a headache, so let's not do that. One thing I don't really understand, and this isn't just some issue I'm trying to pick up to say that Half-Life 2 sucks or something. This is just something that I don't really get. Gordon was running pell-mell everywhere in Half-Life for like 3 solid days, because Half-Life 1 takes place over at least 3 days, if not more. He was running around at breakneck speeds everywhere. He never ran out of breath. Why does he need the HEV suit to run in Half-Life 2? And why can't he run when he's got his flashlight on? I doesn't understand. Oh, hello, what's this?
Hey! You're Freeman, aren't you?
Rebels!
I wouldn't believe it if I couldn't see with my own eyes. Dr. Gordon Freeman himself.
I'm just a guy wearing glasses. And a high-impact reactive armor.
We're just getting ready to pull out.
We better hurry. Gotta tear down this camp and get out of here.
Greetings to the Freeman.
Hi.
Come on.
Vortigaunts are cool. Yes? Okay, so where are we?
Here, take a look at this. This here's the dam. It's just up ahead. Eli's hideout is here, a stone's throw from the apron and nestled in the old hydro plant. But getting there, with that hunter chopper on your ass, next to impossible. Good news is, the Vortigaunt's working his magic on your airboat, so you'll have a little more firepower going forward. I think he's just finishing up now. Go on out.
Okay, so wait. The, dam is just up ahead, but we're up here? You sure about that? Right, okay. Ooh.
There we are. That gun came off one of the same hunter choppers that you're up against. That was like a little iron into a firefight. Take that chopper down, and you should be able to tear on through the
The Freeman to accept this weapon or suffer greatly on the road ahead.
Well, it's not like I can refuse it now. You've attached it to the boat. Yeah,
Give him hell,
for
Doc.
freedom. Hunter cannon, or hunter chopper machine gunny thingy. It does a lot of damage. Yours is slightly more accurate than the one on the helicopter up above is, but it also needs to recharge and it doesn't have quite as much ammo. My god, I'm so used to Black Mesa's grenade launcher now that I can't use this one. Even for the SMG, it feels like you hardly have any ammo for it. And like I said, compared to the magazine size, you have the same amount of magazines as you did in Half-Life, or clips, whatever the hell they are, I don't care. In Half-Life, it was a 50-round magazine and you had 250 rounds in reserve. In Half-Life 2, it's a 45-round magazine and you have 225 rounds in reserve. I don't know why it feels like so much less though, probably. Whoa, hey, there's a thing there. Gotta go get the thing. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Running, running, running. Take that. Oh my god, are they trying to shoot me from all the way over there, really? Whee! Oh god. I'm good. I'm not good. I didn't even notice that there. Whoops. Okay, so other than that brief bit of stupidity, and that one, God, I keep hearing that firing sound from this thing, and I can't help but associate it with the one in Gmod. Fuck you! Eee. The fact that I haven't played this in a while is starting to show, because I do not remember that part at all. I remember this part. Oh, fuck. What the hell? Thanks for the warning, video game. I really appreciate that. Thanks, game. Haha, they can't hit me now.